Okay. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, so you guys know it is Set Real Talk Tuesday. I'm Dr. Keita Joy, your leader's life coach and motivational speaker, and I get to interview some of the most amazing athletes, business owners, entrepreneurs like ever. And so I have a special guest with me tonight. So make sure you guys come on in. Let me know that you're here. Type a little something at the bottom and let us know that you are in here because you do not want to miss this interview tonight. It is with my girl, Jackie Long, the TV host of Jack of All Taste, baby. How you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on. So happy to be here.
Yes, I'm super excited. So let them all know, yes, you have your own TV show, but you are also the wife to who? Let us all know.
I'm married to Jake Long, NFL tackle, for 9 years. He's newly retired this year, so we're venturing off into the next stages of post-career life for him. But, yep, Jake Long. Went to Michigan together. Go Blue. Boop, boop.
I guess. You know, I'm a Seminole. We'll take it though. We'll take it. It's cool. It's cool. It's neutral. No worries. Okay. I love it. I love it. So ladies, guys, make sure you're putting your comments in. If you have any questions for Jackie tonight, you can post it there. But we're going to get real. We're going to talk about if you look at this girl's bio, and we're going to talk about it, she's super smart, so accomplished, a mini actress over here, now a TV host, and then has a beautiful family. So tell us about your family first and foremost, because I feel like family is most important out of all of that.
Family above all, right? That's the thing. So Jake and I have two little girls. Our oldest daughter is 3 years old. Her name is Juliet, and she is a firecracker. And then we have a 3-week-old little girl. Her name is Josephine. So she's our newest.
Did y'all hear that? She said 3-week-old. Look how hot Jackie looks. Can we take like a moment of silence for her? Right, please? Everybody just start typing. Okay, because this is Jackie post baby just 3 weeks. So
smoke and mirrors, Keita. It's smoke and mirrors.
What's some good smoke and mirrors, girl? Yeah. I'm sure everybody's like, let me see how I can get some smoke and mirrors just like that too.
Real talk though, like my eyes are watering because I am so tired. Like for real. Not sleeping, right? You know, you have kids. Like my eyes are sitting here watering because I'm like running on like 2.5 to 3 hour chunks of sleep. So forgive me if I'm like dabbing away over here.
You are fine. So tell everybody tonight, let's just jump into that part of it. How do you balance being a wife to a retired and newly retired NFL player? That was a crazy schedule and lifestyle period. And then now having 2 children, 3 and a newborn, and having your own TV show. Like, how do you balance all that? Because for women, that's, I think, our hardest thing is juggling all the different parts of our lives. So how do you manage all of that?
Absolutely. You know, it just got crazy, but it's been crazy all along. So it got more complicated now that we've got the show and another child. But it's always been crazy. And I feel like in this NFL life, you're kind of used to running on all cylinders all the time. It's not just on Sundays. It's not just during the football season. You know, during the week, these guys are running hard. You're running hard to keep your family going and the household running. Even in the off season, they don't take a break. You know, Jake never took a break, didn't take time off. So it's a constant grind. So I think that kind of primed me for what's happening now. Not really taking that time to let down and you know, ease up off the gas because we don't have time to do that. We just gotta kind of go for it.
You said something just now. This is the life coach in me. I always pick up on these little thoughts, but you said something to me that was so powerful, that your life in a sense was already running on all cylinders. So once the TV show came, you were already kind of used to being on the go, you know? And it made me think about sometimes we're so ready for this next big thing in our life and we don't realize like everything we're doing is preparing us for that. So it's like your crazy hectic schedule, everything that you did before, it was leading you to be able to run this TV show and be a part of it and be able to balance your schedule now? Because you were already living this fast-paced life before.
Absolutely. It's definitely the new normal. And it's funny that you say fast-paced life, because as far as lifestyle stuff, we're really, really mellow, really, really average, normal people. You know, we make dinner together at home every night. We're not very flashy. We don't go out a ton. But as far as packing things into our life, we are super, super fast-paced and never resting. So I'd say like our lifestyle, like our personal lifestyle is where we find the balance. And that's where we kind of slow down. You know, we have dinner together every night. We cook together.
Yeah, so cute.
Family. Yeah. So, you know, while the professional stuff is kind of a whirlwind, the at-home stuff is definitely where we find the balance. And being a mom of two now, God, that sounds weird. You know, you take the time to shut off when you're with your kids, because that's how you recharge. So that's where I kind of refuel, is when I'm with them and taking the time to just be with and present with my children, with Juliet when she's 3 years old, you know, taking that time to be like, okay, life is crazy, but I can be with my daughter and listen to her crazy, funny conversations and look at her little quirks and her silly faces and get goofy. That's how I recharge, for sure.
I love it. So I wanted to ask you now, I love how I can tell like family is first for all of you. Like you guys really dedicate to like loving up on each other. Did you feel like sometimes that was hard amongst other NFL family members, or like, because you're saying your lifestyle wasn't that flashy. Did you feel like you guys were kind of pulled in at one point to kind of be like that, even though that's not who you guys were?
You know, there's always the other stuff going on, right? Labels, brands, shoes, everything. And yes, being in this world, you're more exposed to it, so you learn about it more, you like it more. Don't get me wrong, I love bags and shoes, right? Like I love it. I love being stylish, and you know, shopping. Sometimes I'm not a big shopper. Jake actually likes shopping way more than I do.
Okay.
But the pull for the material stuff wasn't really there for me. I was kind of like, yeah, my shoes are from Saks, but my t-shirt's from Target, so like I can mix it all up. You know,
I love it.
And that kind of kept me out of like the super fast-paced stuff. You know, we didn't really get too caught up in that, but there's definitely that draw and the allure and that appeal. You know, people expect you to do that, so you want to rise up to their expectations and be polished and be put together. But you gotta, like with everything, find the right balance, I think. And you know, splurge where it means something to you. You're gonna love it, wear it, appreciate it. But on stuff that's disposable, like Target t-shirts all day long.
That's right. We call it Target. Go to Target.
Yes,
exactly. I love it. So I wanted to also, before we get into now you being this TV host, how did you, just as an NFL wife, find that identity outside of your husband? Because I think so many times that's something that's difficult, not even just for women who have NFL husbands, but just in general for married women or women in relationship, balancing being there for their husband, but also making sure they're taking care of themselves. How did you find that balance for yourself?
I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is something that I struggled with for a really long time. You know, an NFL career is such a big, all-encompassing, consuming beast, right?
Yeah.
It takes the job of the whole family to contribute to their success. So initially, and even throughout the career, you know, you're questioning, what is my purpose? What is my role? How can I be myself, you know, as an individual? So I'm so glad you asked that question. I don't think necessarily that I've got it figured out, but I just want to acknowledge that I definitely struggled with it. I think leaning on other women who are in the league also, that was huge for me, because Jake was really supportive of my dreams and my career goals. But he knows that like when he's playing football, like that had to come first. That's the, you know, the meat and potatoes, right, of my family. is his success, which is our success, and can keep everything moving forward. But he was super, super supportive the whole time, and encouraged me to go do stuff. And
that's good.
I think having the other women who are intelligent, ambitious, interesting individuals, like you find your peers. So you find other girls that want to go do stuff and want to further themselves and build themselves up as individuals, not just the wife of so-and-so.
Yeah.
That was super helpful, having really great friends in the NFL, other wives and girlfriends that were similar and wanted to, make them for themselves outside of football. And, oh gosh, I was going to say something else and I totally lost my train of thought.
No, you're doing good. No, it's good stuff.
But yeah, I think that it's hard not to get caught up in that and just be an NFL wife, because you could totally do that, and that's fine too. I have friends that are super, super happy and comfortable in their identity as a wife and a mother, and I don't blame them, and I honor them for that.
Yes.
But like, I went to college for 2 degrees, and I really want to use them. Like, I really want to use my brain, and I wanted to do more outside of the house. And Jake was super supportive with that, so I found ways to work a little bit. When we were in Miami, I worked for a little TV station down in South Beach called the Beach Channel, and getting out of the house, getting into a professional setting, being in front of a camera and performing, which is what I love to do, that helped me kind of as an individual, as my own, entity.
I love it. And don't say little. You were with the whatever channel, the Beach Channel. Don't say little. Don't downplay it. You said some amazing nuggets just now, Jackie, like a lot. And I need to be over here like taking notes.
No, long-winded.
Yeah, and say, no, it's good. And say, these are Jackie's notes. But I love one that you talked about how it's not that we ever arrive, but you can tell you were always thinking about your purpose. Like, what do I love? What do I want to do? And so that's what was driving you. It wasn't just, oh, I need to be working for the sake of working. It was just like, these are things that I'm passionate about. And so because I'm passionate about it, I want to pursue it. And I love too how you talked about making sure that you have women around you that you can learn from, support one another, bounce ideas off of one another. And just like you said, just being in their presence is just encouraging in itself. So question, women, listen up tonight. Listen, this is important. I think sometimes women have a hard time finding their tribe, finding that success circle. So how did you find that core group of friends that you could learn from and encourage one another?
So that's a really good question. I feel like in the NFL especially, it's hard to establish your tribe because there's so much flux, there's so much change.
Yeah.
Right? Your team people are getting cut and released and traded. You're moving all over the place. So as far as like having a unit, a group in one place, I only had that, in little bursts. So I think that looking for friends, you have to kind of peel back your idea of what your best friends are going to look like, right? Because you've got people from all over the country, some all over the world, and everybody has something else to offer, to bring to the table. So I think peeling back your preconceptions of like what friendship is, and expect of other people was a big thing. Knowing that everybody needs a little flexibility, that you've got people from different backgrounds and different cultures and stuff, and accepting that and wanting to explore that and learn from that. I think that was really important. And also just being open to everyone else's, not like struggle, because we're not all struggling, but it's all kind of relative. Like, your struggle is not harder than someone else's struggle. You may have different things going on, and they have different things going on, and theirs don't seem as big, but to them they're big, and to you yours are bigger. And like, getting rid of all of that and kind of accepting everyone for who they are and what they're going through. That's how I found my closest girlfriends, the ones that you can call, any time of day, and they'll be there.
Yes.
Just talk to you about whatever. Like, that's kind of what you do. And it also helps, like, my husband he's an O-lineman, and they are part of this brotherhood where it's all O-line all the time, whatever. So the O-line girls are rad, right? They're really, really wonderful women. But you gotta tell your husband, like, listen, brother, there are more people on this football team than outside of the O-line.
Yeah.
So we started, like, I'd be like, hey, let's, I was hanging out with so-and-so's wife, and he's like, oh, the linebacker? I'm like, yeah, she's rad. Like, let's go out to dinner. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, oh, they're really cool. I'm so glad we hung out with them.
Look at that. Oh. And it's all still within football, but that's so true. It's like there's all these little layers underneath that and other, groups and subgroups that we connect with. Yeah. Man, you said a mouthful. I was about to just lift my hands up while you were talking. Yes, Jackie, yes. But something you said was like pulling back figuring out like what your idea of what a friend looks like taking that away, and accepting people for who they are. And I think that's so important for women to do. Ladies, don't you agree tonight? Sometimes we have these huge expectations from men and from our women as friends. And then when they don't meet our expectations, we're disappointed. And sometimes we end up pulling away rather than like, what can I get out of this relationship? Not in a selfish way, but knowing this is what this person has to offer and I value them for that. I'm not trying to change them. I'm not trying to make them be something that they're not, So that was really, really powerful. So tell us, Jackie, so you're married, you're super cute, super smart. You had your 3-year-old daughter. How did you get into the TV hosting? So I know that you were in TV before, but how did you particularly get into Jack of all tastes? How did that happen?
So the TV station that I worked for in Miami, their producers actually approached me because they liked me and things are going well down there. And they said to me, do you have any ideas for a show? We want to produce a show around you.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So ladies, you hear this, ladies? You have to be ready. Jackie's ready. You hear that? Right away when they asked her, do you have any ideas? She wasn't like, let me get back to you. Let me think. I might. She's like, yes, actually. Here's
the name of the show. This is what I want to do.
Right. So ladies, please pick up on that part before we continue. And fellas, if you're listening, sometimes you think you want something and you're not ready. You have to be ready. So it's like, as soon as that opportunity was presented to her, she jumped. She was ready. She's like, yes, I do. I sure do. Okay, so tell us about this idea that you had.
Well, the idea is pretty much from conception to practice now on TV. It's the same. It started because everyone thought like, oh, NFL players and their wives, like, oh, they're so glamorous, mysterious, exciting. And I was like, we're real people just like y'all. And we go out to eat and we have fun together and we're relaxed and mellow. And I was like, let's go eat with people because there's nothing better than food and football. Put them together. And
that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Right?
That's what brings Americans together is food and football. Seriously.
Thank you. At the third F, you got family.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically it was let's go around the country and meet up with these stud athletes and their significant others who are just as awesome as the players are.
That's right.
And let's see where they're eating. Let's see what they like to do on their day off, where they like to go and go along for the ride. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, really? You really want to do that? And they were like, yeah. I was like, okay, let's do it.
I didn't know it was going to work like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me this part then. Let's back up because I have this quote that I tell people. I say, ideas don't cut checks, implementation does. But you do first have to have that initial idea. So before they even asked you about your concept, when did you first come up with this brilliant idea of food and football?
I mean, I don't know if there was like a light bulb moment where it just kind of hit me.
Okay.
It probably just came from like watching the food shows and being like, I love eating. I would like to do that. And then thinking, oh, people think that football is so one way, or this way or that way. And I'm like, well, it's not. It's actually kind of normal. And then I was like, oh, let's put it all together. So I don't think there was like a big, kabam, this is what I want to do. But it was like, God, wouldn't that be a good show? Wouldn't that be fun? Let's go hang out with people, show everyone, these wonderful guys with their relationships and where they're eating, and let's have fun doing it. Let's eat some good food. It was selfish, right? I'm like, I want to go all over the country and eat good food. So everyone needs to tell me where they're eating at their favorite places in the city that they play for so I can eat the food.
I love it. But I feel like most great ideas and concepts first come from ourselves. We're like, I need this, or I wish this was here for me, and then a concept forms from that. So, okay, so that amazing, absolutely amazing. So one of the other things that I wanted to ask you, future, because you're the type of lady that I know is forward thinking. So where do you see Jack of all tastes expanding? What do you see happening next? Give us that vision.
Okay, so I want to bolster what it is now. I want to strengthen it. I want to develop it and really see it through before we get, super, super ahead of ourselves. But I'd say down the line, once it's stabilized, we could branch into other sports. Been talking to some hockey affiliates and baseball, basketball, that would be super fun. My knowledge, of sports is really football related. So I'd have to do some more research and stuff, but it's not exactly about what I know. The whole premise of the show, like, I'm not playing to be an expert, football analyst. I'm not pretending to be a chef. I'm just a real girl who has an into football, who loves to eat. And that's kind of what it is. So
that's how you reach out to the masses, because that is us.
Right. That's who we are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not pretending to be somebody that I'm not. Like, I'm like you. I'm like any woman out there who just wants to eat and get to know people and have fun doing it and travel. And so I think that kind of sets us up for the bigger picture of different sports, different countries, different continents, who knows? But I wouldn't hate kind of showcasing more the significant other side, because I think that the women involved, or who knows, maybe we'll do some female athletes, so the men supporting the female athletes, the significant other side of it, I would love to kind of support and grow, because I think that
when you think about it, you have me thinking we're the ones anyway a lot of times who tell the men where we're going to eat.
Amen, sister. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I tell my husband, he could give me like 3 different ideas. No, actually, I want to go eat here. And so we always go eat where I want to eat.
Yes, right? Because you're doing the research. You're like going through Yelp, like, oh, this one has 4 stars. No, this one has 5. Yes, let's go.
Yeah. So I think that's a great concept. That's amazing. Yeah.
No. We'll see what happens. This is season 1, right? So.
All right. So before we tell everybody like where they can go to watch all of this, I want you to give our viewers, so everybody listen up, just some great tips and advice. We have a lot of people here listening tonight, men included, who have ideas, concepts, dreams, visions. What are some words of wisdom that you can give someone who's looking to start like a whole new business venture? What could you tell them?
I think one of the key things that you mentioned is be ready. Be ready when the opportunity presents itself, because these opportunities are few and far between. And so when they do come along, you got to be ready. The other thing is prepare yourself for steps ahead of where you are. You may not feel ready in the moment, but knowing that you have the capability to accomplish that, whether it's tomorrow or in 10 minutes or in 5 years, like kind of believing in that and knowing that about yourself, that you will get there, is a huge part of having that self-confidence. And, you know, like, I'm not going to lie, like I was shaky on that front for sure. And that's when you lean on friends and family and loved ones and say like, oh, I'm scared, or, oh, I don't feel ready. And, you know, you got to have people around you that support you and build you up. And then I think the last thing is be patient, and know that if you put the time in and you have your eye on the prize and you have this goal, you know, that no matter how long it takes or what stands in your way, like if you've got this end game, this end goal, being focused on that really, really is helpful. Because the TV show took a long time. I mean, from conceptualization until airing, I mean, it's been almost 5 years.
Wow. You guys hear that? Talk about perseverance and patience. That's what it takes. And I think a lot of time in this day and age, when people have these ideas, you know, we're in this day, everybody wants it like microwave conception. I pop it in, boop, boop, 30 seconds, the most a minute. God forbid it's more than a minute long. Like, wait a minute, what's wrong, right? And so that's encouraging in itself. So you guys see that, like this TV show that now that Jackie's a part of, this wasn't just some overnight process. It takes time, and you can't get discouraged with the process.
But don't get me wrong, I was discouraged plenty of times. I mean, you know, there are so many ups and downs, and you think it's going to go, and then it gets wiped out from underneath you. And that happened a bunch too. So, you know, eye on the prize is the biggest thing for me, because
I love it.
I spent plenty of nights crying to Jake, being like, it's never gonna happen.
I know. You sound like me, because I've had my coaching and speaking business for going on like about 4 years. And just even starting it, I was scared out of my mind to even leave. I used to be a school counselor, to even leave that, you know, safety net with paid vacations, and the daycare is right down the street. And, you know, it was so comfortable. And just to leave that and start my own business, it was nerve-wracking. And there were times where I doubted myself, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And I did the same thing with my husband, like, I don't know, you know. But you got to keep going every day, one step, one foot in front of the other, and then we do it, and then it gets done.
And you know, Keita, what you just said, I think is super important too. I think, and you know, there's that saying about living your best life, like being comfortable with where you're at versus what you want, and you kind of have to weigh out those things. And that's, you know, what you just said is super huge and super important, because yes, there is a really, there's an ease, right? And a familiarity about a certain way of life, or some way that you've been living. Yeah. It takes that unknown, you know, that insecurity, to take that leap of faith, to jump into something. And that's really scary, but to fall, you know, you got to fall, you got to go for it, because
I probably still got some.
Right? Exactly. Here's what I've learned. If you don't jump, if you don't fall, like you're not gonna reach whatever it is that you were reaching for, right? So the other thing is, with all the stuff that comes your way, that we've had a crazy turn of events. Like Jake has had 20 surgeries. That is not a joke.
You guys hear that? 20
surgeries.
That's a lot.
And everyone's like, how do you come back from that? And like, you just do, right? So that's the thing. Like, coming back from adversity, like, there's no other option. There's no quitting, right? There's no like, nah, I'm not going to do that today. Or you just go, you just do it. You get out of bed, you wake up, you put one foot in front of the other, and you get on with your day. And like, taking that leap, falling into something of the unknown and wanting to do something else, like, you're gonna figure it out. Like, it's all gonna be okay. You're gonna wake up the next day and keep moving forward. You just have to try.
And I talk a lot about mindset. So you can tell, like, your mindset, like, you have conditioned yourself to think positively, to think the best, to know that it's going to work out, you know? So it's like, we have to make that choice. What are we going to choose, faith or fear? It's like, which one is going to be our driving force? So I absolutely love that. And so one last thing, because I know I would be remiss, all the ladies listen to this part. We always want to know a little bit about the love area. So I know that you've been married since what, 2012, right? Yeah. I'm a little nosy. I got to be nosy before before we go live. And like, especially dating an athlete, because you hear, not even just hear horror stories, we see it.
Oh yeah.
We see it in the news, the blogs, we're hearing about Kevin Hart and you name it, it's some new celebrity or something that has cheated on their girlfriend or their wife, or this couple that we thought could never break up is now torn apart. So for you, like, how did you know that Jake was the one that you should marry and deal with life with? How did you know that?
That's such a funny question. we met in college. We were babies. We were so young. And I was immediately attracted to him, which I think he was kind of surprised about, because growing up, he was always like the big funny friend. And, all the littler guys with tight bodies and, tight haircuts, they were the ones that everyone loved. And I saw this big hunk of meat, and I was like, oh.
All right now.
So there was obviously that initial attraction. But I didn't know that he was the one until I was a little older. We graduated from college. We'd been together for 2.5 years at that point. And I moved out to LA to work, and Jake got drafted to Miami and was living in Miami. And we did long distance for 1.5 years, and we broke up once in the middle of that for 2 weeks. And it sounds completely inconsequential, because 2 weeks is nothing in the grand scheme of things.
No, my husband and I went through the same thing when we were dating. We took a break for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks felt like eternity for us.
And yeah, that's the thing. So after that breakup, we were like, oh, actually, I don't want a life without you. I don't want to do that. And we got back together. We were still doing long distance, and it actually came from Jake, because I'm the kind of girl that's like, you better chase me. You better make a point of wanting me. I'm not going to come to you. So I'm living out here until you figure out yourself and you're ready to commit, because I'm not making moves. And it was after the first game of the season. He was playing Atlanta, and he had a couple really rough plays, like some bad ones. And after that game, he had the epiphany, right? The mind-blowing moment where he was like, I need her here. I need her here. And I was like, so it took that. It took him saying, I can't do this without you. I know you're out there doing what you love and pursuing your dreams, but I need you here. And I was like, all right, well, I didn't want to give up on my dreams and my goals, for a guy. But then you check it in yourself, and you're like, what's truly going to make me the happiest, right? Being secure in love or chasing after a career. And I was like, if I can secure my love hand, the career can get chased down later. So that was probably the defining moment.
I love that. But I just love, girl, you are my kind of girl. Just the confidence that you had. You know what? At the end of the day, I have to always make sure I love me. And if he really wants me, then he's got to step up, and I love that, because you cared for him and you loved him. When he did step up, you were ready for that next level, but he had to step up and show you, and I think so many times as women, you know how we have this one track mind, because we literally can plan out our whole 10 years. Right? And we're like, this is the man we want. This is what I'm going to do. And sometimes we can be so forceful and so controlling of just life, and not realizing that, we're worth so much. You don't have to chase love like that. If a person truly loves you and wants to be with you, allow them to step up. Allow them to step up and come get you. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. It was the right thing to do, for sure. Because I'm not about to settle. I'm not going to chase any man,
You hear that, ladies? Don't chase. I should see a whole bunch of hands up emojis right here in the comment box or something. Like, do not settle. We're not settling and we're not chasing. I absolutely love that. I love it. I love it, you guys. So please put in the comments what you've loved about the things that Jackie said as far as with her business now, being a TV show host with Jack of all tastes. And we're going to talk about where you can view that, the love life, nuggets of wisdom that she shared, you name it, anything that you've loved, please put that in the comments so other people can read it as well. We want to continue to encourage as many people as possible tonight. Jackie, this was amazing. So tell everybody if they want to watch the show, because I can't wait, because I'm greedy. I love like food, and we love football, and I am all about this. So tell us, where can we go to watch the show?
Thank you. You can watch the show on Destination America every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And you can get it on DVR as well, on demand, if you can't get up at 9 on Saturday. But like, who are we kidding? We have kids. We're awake.
Right, that part. My son is up at like 6:30 sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, go back to bed.
Yes, nothing is happening now. But I love that. So that's a Destination America, Jack of all tastes, Saturdays at 9 a.m. But you guys can DVR it as well. And where can they follow you? Because that's how they can always get up to date with everything.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jackie L. Long, JACKIELLONG.
Okay.
My Twitter handles, and Facebook. Jack of all tastes is on Facebook, and we update that a lot and post new little clips and sneak peeks of the episodes and stuff. So that's a good place to catch it also.
Awesome. Well, when we end, we like to say our names and say that we are set. Okay. So I am Dr. Keita Joy, and I am set.
And I am Jackie Long, and I am set.
All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this Facebook Live. I know I did. Even though I'm married, have a career, I was learning so much from Jackie tonight. So I hope all of you were as well. Put your comments, share this live video, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
Bye.